Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have a 2-hour slideshow of Follies nostalgia. Well, that was the original plan. Instead, I've decided to tell a few lousy jokes. So this, by state mandate, is a fun-sized Follies, whatever the hell that means. We know that Alan Fun means we're talking about him and somehow making fun of his size. I said to him, Alan, first of all, it's fun-sized, not fung-sized. And second of all, size does not necessarily mean all that much. Right? And he said, you know, I'm taller than Gina Raimondo. I said, Alan, everyone is taller than Gina Raimondo. Jack Reed is taller than Gina Raimondo. If Gina were any shorter, she could play a dwarf on Game of Thrones. Oh, please. Anyway, we're going to have a great show tonight. We were hoping, frankly, to get Malcolm Butler as our mystery guest, because that is still the biggest mystery in New England. But Coach Bill Belichick refuses to allow him to perform. So we turned to General Mike Flynn, another distinguished Rhode Islander. He said Vladimir Putin refused to allow him to perform. So we asked Mayor Jorge Elorza. He said he heard there was a table of unionized teachers here at the Venus and they would not allow him to perform. And by the way, in case you were wondering, the last thing Mayor Elorza wants to do is arm the teachers. Got enough problems with the teachers already. God forbid they should be carrying. Anyway, I apologize. I have neglected to introduce myself. My name is Andy Smith. Thank you. And I'm a reporter for the Providence Journal. Despite what Go Local might have you believe, there are still 4 or 5 of us left, rattling around 75 Fountain Street. And as a Providence Journal reporter, I just have one question. Maybe some of you can help me. Where is my cushy state job? All the other reporters have one. I can do it. I can be incompetent. I can screw up. You don't believe me, just ask my editors. Or the band. Anyway, so many Providence Journal reporters have gone off to these cushy state jobs that now, every time you walk into the building at 75 Fountain Street, you hear the haunting theme song to Exodus. Sounds about like that. Most of the Jewish reporters just burst into tears. Anyway, we no longer cover state government, we are state government. Now this doesn't make state government any better, doesn't mean state government isn't screwed up. But the press releases are far, far better written. Now, speaking of state government, I understand they're still having some problems with that UHIP computer. But we have just heard from the UHIP computer that a North Korean missile is headed directly for the Venus de Milo. Now, don't panic. The Venus management advises everybody to get under their tables. You people in the seats are just screwed. Get under the tables with your backs to the wall. Try and curl up into a little ball. Put your head down between your knees and gently kiss your ass goodbye. This way you will be spending the last few moments on the planet doing something you love. Now, there are some legislative lobbyists in the room. It is entirely possible that just by sheer instinct they will kiss someone else's ass. We hope this doesn't happen. If so, we would probably have to have a sexual harassment seminar right here on the stage. And of course, state legislators would be saying, again? Anyway, it's going to be a great Follies. It's great to see everybody here. Of course, we had to separate the Mattiello table from the Ruggiero table in case a nasty lawsuit would break out in the middle of one of our beautiful songs. You know, we had hoped to bring these two together, to reconcile their differences. It was possibly a mistake to use Vinny Paz as our negotiator, since Vinny's idea of a fruitful negotiation is to punch someone in the face. You know, speaking of this, what is going on at the State House? My God. Sex scandals underneath the big dome. It's not a pretty picture, I can tell you that. It's gotten so bad the independent man had to leave to go take a shower. And, yeah. No, I'm not going to tell that joke. All right. Gotten so bad, yes, independent man had to take a shower. So anyway, I'm not sure entirely what's going on up there, but it seems to me that these days, simply screwing with your money is now no longer enough. Anyway, those of you who are veterans of the Follies know that the show is a little better, a little funnier, if you've had a drink, possibly 2 drinks. So we would recommend, if you do visit the Venus de Milo bar, to try the Venus's new signature cocktail, the Stormy Daniels. Now, in order to get a Stormy, you've got to take $130,000 of your own money, which the president knows absolutely nothing about, and then the bartender will let you enjoy a Stormy, which the president apparently does know something about. Anyway, it seems like every season in Rhode Island is campaign season, and now it seems like everybody wants to run for governor. It's kind of like visiting Pamplona, Spain for the running of the bullshit. And so many people are running, it's just crazy. I didn't even know there were this many Republicans allowed in the state. So we've got Alan Fung. Alan has apparently been watching a lot of Law and Order, because his new campaign motto is, "You have the right to remain silent." Ask him about Trump, ask him about gun control, he has the right to remain silent. Then we got Patricia Morgan. If she wins, it would be sort of like your angry mother-in-law running the state. Joe Trillo. Apparently, Joe Trillo, there just was not room for Joe amongst the Republicans, so he chose to run as an independent, which, believe me, is the only thing he has in common with Link Chafee. But my favorite gubernatorial candidate, Giovanni Ferrocci. First of all, I simply love the name. It sounds like a great Italian sports car. He's driving a Ferrocci. But yet, what is the deal with this guy? He lost his job. He lost his business. He had to auction off his mansion in Newport. And I believe now he's living in a cardboard box underneath Route 195. With this record of accomplishment, you really have only 2 career choices in the state of Rhode Island. Number 1, radio talk show host. And number 2, run for governor. Apparently Giovanni has gone for number 2. But he may end up as the radio talk show host, so just be ready. Now, I know a lot of people in this room were disappointed that the New England Patriots did not win the Super Bowl, and were therefore denied the majestic Vince Lombardi Trophy. But here at the Follies, we thought, God, you know, we should be able to give something to the 2nd place team. So I have it right here, I think. So we came up, I don't know if you can see that, there it is, balance on my hand, with the Charlie Lombardi Trophy. I hope everybody can see that in the back of the room. You'll notice it's very small, slightly tarnished, but then again, so is Charlie. And yet the biggest sports question here in Rhode Island is what's going to happen to the Paw Sox? Now, they had a brilliant plan. Benny's had bought the naming rights to the stadium. Every game was going to be broadcast on WBRU. A bright, bright future. And now we have some people who are going to come out here and tell us a little bit about what's happening with the possocks.